and welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today we're going to be talking about Heung-Min's son and how he's thriving under Ange Postecoglou. But before we get into this video, if you are new on the channel, why don't you leave a like, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs and hit that notification bell so it lets you know every time I go live. Now, let's get into the video. So today I really wanted to talk about our star South Korean player because, you know, after all that was said at the beginning of the season and after last season about how Son's fallen off, he's not the same player, I think it's about time we salute Son. Because, you know, the news broke yesterday that he has been nominated for the September Player of the Month. And I believe he should be winning that. You know, he scored 6 goals. All of the goals so far he has scored this season have been scored in the month of September. You know, a hat-trick against Burnley, a brace against Arsenal, and a goal that put us ahead in the game against Liverpool. So yeah, he has been vital, and he has been vital because he has played through the middle, which I think is his best position going forward. You know, Ange Postecoglou tried him out on the wing, and as much as I still think Son is a class winger and he can play in that position, I now think that going through the middle is the best option for Son, because I see it as, I don't think he's necessarily lost his pace. Part of me was thinking, has his pace dipped a bit? But seeing him play through the middle and want to be off the shoulder of certain players, I believe he's still got the pace. But I think an Ange Postecoglou winger is a different type of winger to what Son is. I think Son can thrive through the middle because he's good with his feet. He can find space in the area. You know, he is a good all-round player. And that is perfect for that through the middle spot, especially as he does like to press and close down players as well. And I think the issue is now going forward is with injuries in the squad. Obviously, on that left-hand side, we had Ivan Perisic, and obviously he is now out for probably the season. We've got Manor Solomon, who's now out for a couple of months as well with an injury, who plays on the left-hand side. Brennan Johnson apparently is not going to return to the first team until after the international break as well. So it seems that going forward, we're probably going to keep playing Richarlison, probably on the left, and maybe switch the two depending on who we're playing against. And then obviously Kulusevski will be out on the right. But less about the issues, because obviously Son has had his injury issues as well. But he seems to be all right. He's still scoring goals, and they're going to monitor him. But he has been so vital. I do worry if we actually do lose into injury, because his goals are, you know, closing the chasm that was left by Harry Kane. Don't get me wrong, I think we're scoring a lot of goals thanks to the likes of James Maddison popping up and being more creative, and we're spreading the goals around. But if we do lose Son to injury, that is our focal point. That is going to be the majority of our goals. I predicted at the beginning of the season Son would probably be our top goal scorer after Harry Kane left, obviously, and he would provide that outlet. He is just so good as a striker. He's played as a striker in the past. You know, he is that versatile. He can play across the whole of the front three. But, you know, looking at him in general now this season, I just think he is playing with more of a freedom. I think, you know, I look at how he's being deployed in sort of Ange's system, and it was sort of him having to overcomplicate his game, you know, play on the counter-attack, which we know he's good at because of his pace, but he was starting from so deep. And you put Son, as I say, on the shoulder of someone else, and 9 times out of 10, he will probably beat them for pace. He is that good. But, you know, he was playing left wing. It was like left wing back. He was helping cover whoever was playing on the left wing back side. So it just wasn't really helpful in those positions. And now, which, as I say, we're seeing him further up the field, making more of an impact, having more goal involvements, and it's just perfect all around. He's really interchanging well with the likes, as I said, of Solomon, of Kulusevski, Maddison. You know, they're really finding him in space, and really, you know, he is showing his different level of finishing, your cheeky chips. He's, you know, nice curlers. His little, like the goals against Arsenal was so clever with the way, you know, just simple, like just brushing them into the corner of the net, and also showing how good he is with his feet, you know, in the sense of he is so two-footed, you just don't know where he's going to go. And I'm hopeful that against a team like Luton, I'm not going to jinx this hopefully, if he plays, which he seems like he will get a bag for, I hope. You know, he is the perfect player to play against a team like that. You know, they will have a low block, so we might get frustrated, but I can see Son finding gaps in the team to really, you know, hammer home and get a lot of shots off. And, you know, it will show, like, I can imagine we will have to do a lot more crossing and sort of have those second and third balls. But luckily, as I said, Son is really good at finding space. I think that's quite an underrated part of his game. And he will just, you know, hopefully overpower the Luton goalkeeper in net. And even looking at some of his stats on FB Rev, I've noticed that he is becoming more of a traditional striker, which is quite interesting. You know, we were used to him obviously linking up so well with Harry Kane. You know, they've got the record of most goal combinations, or whatever you call it, between each other in the Premier League history, taking over like the likes of Drogba and Lampard, I think, were near the top of that list. But he's, you know, having more, you know, effective shots, I'd say. You know, he's not really being as wasteful as he was last year. I feel like he, as I say, it's a poacherish sort of, you know. He, as I say, he's like sort of coming through the back door. You know, we look at the first goal against Arsenal, sort of creeping in. Again, beats his, gets off his man against Liverpool. Really good ball from Maddison, obviously, to play Richarlison's through. And Son's in the box to tap it home. A lot of really effective finishes. Doesn't have to necessarily curl these ones in from the edge of the area that we know he is amazing at. So it's really interesting to see how he's developed his game in the sense of that sort of poacher's instinct in the box, in and around the box. Because we sort of, going back through his Spurs career, we are used to him having those like gallivanting runs down the left and like having to sort of do it himself. You know, we think of his Puskás goal. He picks up the ball on the edge of our area and basically storms through the whole of that Burnley team and tucks it away. But now he's being more effective in the final third with some of his runs, which I think is really interesting. I think that's obviously the use of having a good creator, you know, in the shape of James Maddison. Obviously, we were used to Kane obviously doing it, but then Kane would like to be involved in the goal scoring as well. But now Maddison is sort of that creative player who cares about, you know, he will be the one dropping deep, but will stay deep and then maybe, you know, eventually end up near the edge of the box for a shot on target or something like that. Sonny's already in the area making that run and, you know, not being as conservative as he was under Conte and more of our defensive managers. You know, I said at the beginning of the season, Son would thrive under Ange Postecoglou, an attacking manager. And, you know, lots of football fans, mainly, I would say, the neutrals and rival fans, were just like, Son's over. He's, you know, he's the wrong age, wrong side of 30. He's never going to come back. That's it. He's done now. He's washed. He's only behind Erling Haaland in the goal-scoring charts this season. He scored 6 fantastic goals. And he's just being so effective. I knew Ange would bring him back to his best, and we're finally seeing it from Son, and I am so buzzing about that. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. What have you made of Son's start to the season? Do you think he is the answer for us up front? Do you like him on the left? Let me know what you think about that. Do you prefer him through the middle? Let me know that as well. And are you worried about his injury record at the moment? Because it is a bit worrying. Does he technically need a rest against Luton, or should we play him and see how he fares? And as I said at the top of the video, if you have enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to Sonny Talks Spurs, and hit that notification bell because it will let you know when I've gone live. And as I say, I've been Sonny from Sonny Talks Spurs, and I'll speak to you very soon. And ciao.